JN Money Card sent from abroad. JN Money Card. Send the money. Okay. Move withdraw in a hurry. Alright. JN Money Card free. Okay. With your TRN and your ID. Alright. And when me not walk with cash, me just swipe like that. Alright. From abroad to CAD, get the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. JN Money Card sent from abroad. JN Money Card.
JN Bank Small Business Loans is linked to so many stories of ordinary Jamaicans and their extraordinary success. It's a demonstration of our strong belief in the business ambitions of Jamaicans.
And how we believe in JN Bank Small Business Loans.
And by doing so, we have expanded industries, improved communities, and transformed the lives of entire families for the better.
JN Bank Small Business Loan help business like ours come to life and grow over the years.
Come, talk to us. Tell us your business. Let's start a partnership and let your business plans appear in real life. JN Bank Small Business Loan.
Me, busy as usual, so I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my One JN Passport app. It's a whole new level of convenience and access to services within the JN Financial Group. Just a few taps on my smartphone and box. I can update my personal information, open a JN Bank savings account, and even apply for an unsecured loan. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The One JN Passport app. JN will help you find a way.
Airport, drop off, pick up, towing, service, fuel, Tupperware more than roadside assistance. We'll carry you the distance with JAA. Safety is our mission. When your car want license and pass, yeah, we do that fast. White glove service with special occasions. Even a chauffeur. When you want to live large with JAA membership, increase the comfort, reduce the risk. JAA. Keeping you mobile.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thanks for joining us for this exciting pre-Diaspora Conference webinar. I'm Archibald Gordon. I'm your moderator for today, and today we're talking about a really exciting topic. We are talking about exploring business opportunities at home and abroad. And we're doing this as we gear up for the 10th biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference. And this discussion is really going to be helping us to understand the current and new opportunities in Jamaica for people who want to start businesses, as well as the opportunities for people who already have businesses, both in Jamaica as well as across the diaspora. Now, before we start, I'd like to extend a warm welcome to those of you online who are joining us in cyberspace, as well as our panelists today. We're excited to have Shane Angus. He is interim vice president of exports at JAMPRO. They play a really crucial role in getting businesses to Jamaica. Val Rivera, CEO of the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. Michelle Tolan-Neal from the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council in the Northeast USA. Gillian Hyde, who is here with me on set. She is Deputy Managing Director at JN Bank. Dimitri Dawkins, Commercial Director at MC Systems. Natalie Brown is Head of Investment Banking at JN Fund Managers. And Joel Harris is Co-Founder and Marketing Director of Chavot International. So, Jamaica offers a wealth of opportunities for those who are looking to invest, which really means to put money into something to make a profit or to start a business. And our country is ripe with areas for exploration by interested investors and potential business owners, particularly those from the Jamaican diaspora. And local businesses also have fantastic opportunities to reach out to the diaspora with their products and services. That's what we're going to be talking about today throughout 4 different segments. First, we're going to be talking about some of the promising areas for investment. We're going to be talking about and getting the perspective of the diaspora. We're going to be understanding how the JBDC works with businesses to support their growth and the essential services they provide. We'll also hear about the services and support provided by JN Bank, including loan options and other financial products as well. We'll understand a little bit about the role of technology and innovation, which really just means new tools and new ideas through NC systems in improving business processes, and we'll understand about investment and corporate financing solutions, which really means ways to get money for business activities from Jane fund managers to help potential investors. So we hope that this event will make it easier to understand all of this, to understand the process of starting and investing in a business in Jamaica, and to highlight the opportunities that are available. And if you have any questions during the webinar, please jot them down, type them in the chat. We're going to be having a dedicated Q&A session towards the end as well. And if you're sharing comments on social media, on various platforms, on X, etc., you can use our hashtag JN Diaspora Dialogue. Again, hashtag JN Diaspora Dialogue. So we know that Jamaica is a prime destination for investment. In fact, the global Jamaican diaspora, people outside of Jamaica, is estimated to be around 3 million people by some estimates, representing a significant market for businesses. And Jamaica has been making strides in improving its business environment and making it easier for entrepreneurs to start and grow their businesses here. So as we explore the topics I've been talking about, I want to start by setting the stage in this segment with my guests for this segment, who are Gillian Hyde from JN Bank, Michelle Toller-Neal, as well as Shane Angus from JAMPRO. And I'm going to be starting with Shane Angus at JAMPRO. Just to ask, what's so special about Jamaica? Why is Jamaica a good place to invest?
Well, a lot of things are happening for Jamaica in the international market. As it stands, where we are located is always a key factor for us, as well as the connection that our diaspora have to all the things that we do in Jamaica really drives a lot of things. Jamaica are pretty influential in any genre. Everywhere you go, Jamaicans are very influential. So if you look at things such as the food industry, I'm actually based in New York. If you look at things like the food industry, we tend to dominate that area. And what happens is a lot of persons want Jamaican food. And we always struggle to supply persons in the diaspora or outside of the diaspora, because our products are now accepted by everyone. We've crossed over into different ethnic groups. So we always struggle to provide persons with the required quantities that are needed. Those create a lot of opportunity for us to look at that investment. Also, as we look at even our climate and we look at what's happening here, people tend to want to go somewhere and relax. And over the years, we have seen a new trend. And one of the new trends we're looking at is that most persons are now looking at boutique resorts. And we do have a lot of large, all-inclusive resort. But when you're outside of that, a lot of persons want to have that boutique experience. And that now is creating a lot of opportunity for persons to look at. How can we develop the 10, the 15, the 20 villas where families can retreat, where companies can retreat, where persons can look at for probably medical recovery and stuff like that. So those are creating different opportunities. So agriculture is indeed one area. Tourism or hospitality is another area. Cosmetics is something we're seeing growing, and that's cross between both agriculture as well as the cosmetic. Things like castor, people are now demanding Jamaica castor in a wide variety of ways and large quantities that we're unable to supply. And within the diaspora, we know a lot of persons have land that they're not using, land that can be used. These things does not take a lot for them to grow. So we can look at utilizing the land to plant more ackee trees, let's plant more breadfruit trees, let's plant castor trees, and see how best we can now meet those demands. And once we see that happening, we can put systems in place where we can ensure that we can protect our product and ensure that persons in the international market accept them. So we're working on a lot of things for that. We know we're working on nation branding to ensure that the Jamaica castor is fully recognized as Jamaica castor oil and persons can buy and plant that. So those are some things we can look at up and know, Arch.
In terms of, I hear you naming a range of different kind of industries there. In terms of the best industries at the moment to invest in and the best services of the list, or have of a perhaps more expansive list, what would be those areas?
I think agriculture is a low-hanging fruit for us. As much as you want to imagine, there are so much things we can do. As it stands right now, we have so much persons wanting two basic things for arguments: ackee and breadfruit. Those are in high demand in all different forms. Breadfruit is so flexible. You can get it in powder, you can get it roasted, you can get it sliced and frozen. There's so much demand is in the market, and we're saying, listen, we have to tap into this demand. We're not supplying nowhere close to what is wanted. And persons have land, and those things sometimes do not require a lot to to keep them good, to bring them up to a stage and you can reap them for a long time once they're on your property. So why not look at doing something like that? So I believe that can be a low-hanging fruit in terms of capital investment is less, and also it creates a greater opportunity for anyone looking to grow in that space. So orchard crops is something I think we should push a lot.
All right, I want to bring in some of the other guests, but before I bring them in, just one more question on that front. In terms of JAMPRO, how do you help businesses or people who want to invest in Jamaica make use of the opportunities you've outlined?
So JAMPRO, as it stands, really the investment promotion agency. So we have in-house developed over the years our techniques to ensure that investors coming in, we can roll out the red carpet for you. We actually walk you through the process. We're here to facilitate you. So once you contact us with your idea, we are there to take you through the different steps to help you pass the different regulations that you need, that you will encounter, even to help you access the capital you need. And on the other end, when the products are ready and to go, we are in the market, so we tend to find distributors for the product as well and try to get them pushed through the different channels here. So we are there to you in both the investment and the export side. So we are your go-to source if you want to start, and we help you along the way. So we do have facilitations unit across JAMPRO that helps all investors and all exporters.
Let's bring in Michelle Tolonil here. From your perspective, you hear Mr. Angus talking about all of these different kind of opportunities. Is this also something you see? Is this also the perspective you hold in terms of Jamaica's fitness or rightness for investment?
Oh, absolutely. Jamaica is ripe for investment. It's interesting that you're asking that because a few days ago, I was talking about just to get an idea of what people's thoughts are around this. And what you found is that people have an interest in Jamaica. And I'm so happy that Shane mentioned that he is the go-to source, because that was one of the questions people were asking. If I want to do business, where is the handbook? What are the steps? So what I would love for Shane to do more, because I'm in Philadelphia, not too far from Shane, is for us to have forums where we can educate people on how exactly to invest in Jamaica. We are good with the real estate. We got that. We have the rental properties. Now we want to get more involved in the business itself. So as long as we can do that, and everything that Mr. Angus says is true. We want to get Jamaica as the hottest place. We are close to everywhere, but we just need to know how to make sure it's getting done.
Part of getting that done is actually getting money into the business. Let me bring in Gillian Hyde here from JN Bank, because in terms of providing particular kinds of support, one area of support is loans. How does JN Bank help support people who want to invest in Jamaica?
Thanks for that, Archibald, and good afternoon to the diaspora. It's really, Jamaica National has really been in the field of providing support to the business community over the last 20 years. We really started with emphasis on the micro and small business area. And through our shift over the last couple of years from a building society to a bank, we really have been looking to ensure that we build a framework that we're able to serve the entire business community. And I love to talk about our micro entrepreneurs because I don't think we recognize that with every large business, it takes an entire ecosystem to make that large business operate successfully. So if we really zone into the large business and dissect it, it's filled with so many different small and micro entrepreneurs that power that success of that large business. So we can't leave out anyone. So we started with learning about that particular environment. And as we grow and evolve, we are ensuring that we build a framework that we're able to push out an entire financial solution for all business operators. So yes, we talk about loans, but we also want to ensure that through our other sister companies within the group, our fund management company, our life insurance, general insurance company, our technology company, etc., that we're building an entire ecosystem to support the business community. So when we zone into loans, we give loans from a minimum of 20,000 because we want to make sure that everybody, and of course we go up to large sums that will meet the needs of the large and corporate entities and the medium enterprises, etc. That's correct, right?
Over
And we
to like $100 million.
way above $100 million. We don't want to put a cap on it because as you grow and evolve, different size loan amounts will be best suited for you. And of course, those have been priced based on the sector that you're in, and based on whether you're value added, etc. So we have a whole gamut of loan financial solutions that are available for our business community and that have been developed in a way to meet their specific needs.
So loans are one. Loans come with rates. What are the rates like?
So the rates are varied, and I don't like to zone in too much on rates because we have developed the rates in alignment with the sizes of the business as well as the sectors of focus. Importantly, we've partnered with some other government agencies as well to focus particularly on certain segments of the business community. And through other partnerships, we're going to be looking at coming with even more competitive rates, single-digit rates, to ensure that that particular sector can develop in line with our country's national development plans, right? So when we talk about that, we talk about agriculture, we talk about tourism, manufacturing, etc., right? So those have been priced to ensure that according to that sector, it can facilitate exactly what.
Just one more question before I go back to the other panelists in terms of payments, because when you're running a business, how you're able to pay, it differs based on the status of the business, whether you're just starting out, etc.
That's
how do you
perfect.
facilitate flexible payments?
So let me talk about payments a little bit. So of course, again, we have zoned in on the different types and sizes of businesses. So we've made it flexible enough to consider the size of your business and how it is that the business earns its income, right? So for some people, it may be weekly, it may be fortnightly, it may be monthly. So we've devised all of that. In the context of agriculture, where products are seasonal and products have a timeline before it is ready for reaping, of course, moratoriums, etc., have been factored into those programs. So very, very flexible payment options in terms of the support for the loan solutions.
Michelle Tolo, Neil asked a question earlier, was referring to the fact that there's need for sort of greater information about some areas from Mr. Angus. If you remember that the issue, Mr. Angus, can you respond to it? The need for information about some sort of particular kinds of areas and a sort of handbook and guide.
Oh yeah, so definitely, whatever sector you want to look at, you can always visit JAMPRO. There is a team in place, our website. And you can reach out to any of the info at Do Business Jamaica. We'll respond. There are different sectors in-house for both the investment and the export. So investment, we have logistics and infrastructure, mining and manufacturing, non-food manufacturing, agribusiness, GDS, which is Global Digital Services, tourism. So we have all those sectors and there are specialized teams in place. Whatever area you want to look at, there's a team in-house that will help you. And just think about the reverse on the export side as well. The same team actually is on the export side. So we are there with the expert to help you to look at any sector you want to help you look at the business plans, to help you develop and to operate. We even have programs in-house, such as our Export Max, which are particularly geared at bringing companies on board and help them go through a complete 2-year training program to develop their capacity so that they can play more in the market, to be more effective, to be a stronger player, to know how to export, how to dissect the market, how to penetrate the markets, etc. And I'm happy to hear Gillian mentioning the fact that there are loans available. A lot of the time, the challenge we find with a lot of diaspora persons coming in is that there are nice business plans and they might have land, they might have a few little things, but the cash flow might be a problem. And then after reaching out to financial institution, they tend to struggle not to get access to those loans. I'm happy to hear that there are things in place that they can actually talk to Jane about and they can actually access these loans. On the flip side, though, in terms of investment, we recognize over the years that majority of those who would have entertained or facilitate as investors are not really diaspora members. And particularly because sometimes the investment and the projects that we put on the table are huge projects that require a lot of funding. And sometimes you don't have that person coming with that level of funds just directly like that. But no doubt, by breaking down the industry in ways such as having persons look at farming on a smaller level, and when I say smaller, you have 20 or 30 acres of land somewhere in St. Elizabeth or Manchester that you're in the diaspora and you're not using the land. What about putting Castor on it? Now that association is being developed and we're putting a lot of effort, we're getting into to a level where we're going to mature and ensure that the product is actually Jamaican and secure. Then you can now look at that. So you don't have to worry about putting a lot of money to keep it going every day, because those things happen quite, they're not a crop that require a lot of attention. But the same thing happened to Aki and Birdfruits, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm happy to hear that the loans are available and persons can actually play. And we are here to help you. We have in-house a lot of business plan, a lot of market research, a lot of studies that can tell you about which crop to plant, where, when, how, why. So we have all that information. You can reach out to us and we can actually give you even the financial breakdown as to how profitable this product can be if you actually invest in it.
What about supporting other areas? I'm seeing a question here on a comment / question in the chat from Michelle Thompson, who is saying it's really nice that we focus on the tourism, manufacturing and farming sectors. And also it's very good. We are a nation that are motivated to start businesses. But she's saying, why don't we take this to another level? Talk about investment, security, accounting, production companies. Those areas you provide support in as well.
Yes, I mean, there are different areas we do work on all areas, right? And again, whatever you look at, there's a sector there to cover it. Did they mention accounting a while ago, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, so you look at even our GDS or DGS unit, we have facilitated a lot of those companies throughout our facilitation of investors coming in. So for argument's sake, if you have an investor coming in and they want all the services locally, then we tend to pair them with our companies locally to provide them with the service. So if somebody is coming in and they need a lawyer, they need an accountant, they need all different type of persons to do what they want to do on the ground to get them running, we actually have database of persons. So if you want to be on that, you actually write to us, put on a list, and then you'll be placed in front of those investors we can offer the services. On the GDS side, you do know a lot of companies do outsourcing services to Jamaica. So we do have a lot of accounting companies in Jamaica doing work for companies in the US through the outsourcing space. So it is a matter of, and there, again, we have team fully in-house that's dedicated for that service, for that sector. So it's a matter of what do you want to do? Talk to us. We can actually look at the plans and see how best we can guide you and get your business running.
Let me bring back Michelle to the conversation here. You're hearing these responses both from JAMPRO and from Jane Bank about some of the services that are available. Are there any particular questions you'd like to raise?
No, I am just excited about getting this information. But like I said previously, we need to get it to the end. Like, say, for example, I'm in the Northeast and there's 14 states. We need to get that information out. So while I'm here sitting, I'm saying to myself, when I get off, I will reach out to Shane, I'll reach out to somebody from Jamaica National and have a forum where they can walk the individuals that are on this forum about how to. What do I need? Okay, so I have an idea. Where do I start? What are the steps? And I think, and I'm sure there will be a video from it, and then we can keep on sharing it so people can get involved in the major investment. People are interested in agriculture, technology, community tourism. As I said, we have the real estate down pat. We know how to do rental properties, but about how do we get into the big things? And so I'm really happy to hear this information, and I just can't wait to share this further with the Northeast. So Mr. Angus, expect a call from me very soon.
And just to add, Michelle, we'll be near our neighborhood next week, Friday. We were invited by the annual Caribbean Business Roundtable at the Philly City Hall, and that's something we do annually. And there are various diaspora groups that are doing many things. And once they invite us, once we're available, it's a small team in North America. But once we're available, we will actually show up. We'll do our presentations. We'll talk about it. We'll field questions. Sometimes 2 or 3 hours there, just going through the different sectors, talking to them about the opportunities. So we are always ready to do it. Once you invite us, we'll be there. But so you can also follow social media.
But that's a JAMPRO answer right there. But if Jane and you want to find out about the loans and the other services, where do you go first?
I want to touch back on, I think it's a point that the last question you had from Michelle, the point that you had from Michelle, very important point. And if I understand it well, we need to highlight the professional services some more, the services that power the different sectors, right? And if I think about a lot of what is required to take our businesses to another level, the professional services come to mind in terms of the strengthening, of the business community, which we need to turn some emphasis on, right? And as I want to make another point too, as we look at those professional services, that whilst we have the JAMPROs and the JBDCs that are really helping us to power up the entrepreneurs, we want to bring that development community together with the financial services community to ensure that those plans actually prepare the entrepreneurs for investment from the financial entities. So it appropriately brings it together so we can see the business community getting that value. And it doesn't appear as if after they've gone through all of this development, they still have an issue when it comes to the financial institutions. So I'd love to talk a little bit more outside of this forum on how it is that we really make that possible in a very tangible way. And that we don't duplicate efforts. We don't find ourselves doing the same thing that the JBDCs, the JAMPROs have been empowered to do, but instead are able to deliver on exactly what you have put all of that investment into the business community for. So I just wanted to make that point. And I also want to make the point on the loan solution side that a lot of our business community have struggled with collateral. Now the DBJ has made that easy for us by developing a very, very good guarantee program. And there are other Development Bank of Jamaica, apologies. And there are other communities out there we've partnered with in the past, USAID for the smaller entities in terms of ensuring that there are guarantees that are available for persons that don't have sufficient collateral. So just wanted to ensure that I made those points and really to recognize Michelle's point in terms of, yes, you cater to the other specialized sectors, but professional services is definitely at the top of our list. And I think it needs to become even more prominent as we try to strengthen the business community. Just noting that.
There's even one more question in the chat about this. Someone, Rolando Morgan, saying, I'm interested to know if there might be any demand for economic consultancy services, that is thought leadership pieces or bespoke pieces of economic research or analysis.
So I just want to add in terms of that question that we need to really reach out to, from a financial institution standpoint, in addition to the core development work that is being done by JBDC and JAMPROs, etc. What else can we add, if not there already, but how can we continue to enhance that particular side of the program in terms of the professional services that are necessary to bring our business community from a micro to a small to a medium to a large, right? So I would say, yes, there will be a need for that. We need to look at that very, very carefully and see how we can bring those things, other elements together.
If I'm overseas and I want to find out about the opportunities at JN Bank, where do I go first to get information?
Our website. So persons in the diaspora, of course, easy access to our social media platforms and our web pages, www.jnbank.com, and I'll ensure that those communication details are in the chat. So we also, I just want to mention as well that we've developed a whole relationship management culture. So as persons engage with us, we'll ensure that they are aligned to the appropriate relationship manager who is able to really speak directly to their particular need in the context of sector focus, etc.
Mr. Angus, in terms of you, someone who wants to get in touch with JAMPRO to find out about opportunities, where do they get that information?
So you can visit our website. It's quite easy. dobusinessjamaica.com. You can also visit our social media page as well. So we're quite easy, and then you can shoot all the questions, info@dobusinessjamaica.com, and we'll have our team reach out to you, and we'll reach out. I mean, even in the US, I can give my number, 646-508-8969. If you can call me at any time, and we can talk about business.
Thank you. I wanted to ask, to go back to this question of what the different kind of services are that JAMPRO provides, because again, people understand that the service is out there and they hear about JAMPRO, but very often they don't know what are like 3 particular things that you provide. Point 1, point 2, point 3 that they can get from JAMPRO.
So we provide market information access, right? We also provide market access, and we also provide persons with a lot of collateral they need to develop their businesses.
Let's break that down. So when you say market information, you mean what?
So if you want to understand how a market operates or what's happening in the market, US, Canada, UK, based on our teams in those markets, we do have a lot of information on it. If you want to understand how the products work in those markets and what's the demand, and you can visit us and we'll talk about that. We also facilitate companies in terms of, okay, you're going to invest, but we're having some issues to get through NEPA. And so we sit at the table with NEPA and we try to push those things through as quickly as possible.
This is a National Environmental Planning Agency. So
Yes.
this is if you need, for instance, an environmental permit, etc., because of the nature of your business.
Yes, we do help with that. But one of the key things we do on the exporter is business matchmaking. So we try to connect our suppliers to buyers in the market. And we do a match, like a one-to-one match. So we connect you with persons who is able to buy your product or who you're able to supply to. So we do all those business matchmaking and stuff like that as JAMPRO.
All right, thank you very much. Shane Angus there from the JAMPRO. He says you can get information from Do Business Jamaica. I'm also have with me Gillian Hyde from JN Bank, and also in this segment was Michelle Tolo-Neal from Global Jamaica Diaspora Council. And I think that's where we're going to be leaving it for this segment and taking the break. And then when we get back, we'll be talking about business facilitation, how business can be, can get done, and capacity building, how we can improve the nature of the services or the business itself to be able to do more, to expand, to get more opportunities, etc. We'll be back after these messages.
JN Bank Small Business Loans is linked to so many stories of ordinary Jamaicans and their extraordinary success. It's a demonstration of our strong belief in the business ambitions of Jamaicans.
And how we believe in JN Bank Small Business Loans.
And by doing so, have expanded industries, improved communities, and transformed the lives of entire families for the better.
JN Bank, small business loan, help business like ours come to life and grow over the years.
Come, talk to us. Tell us your business. Let's start a partnership and let your business plans appear in real life. JN Bank Small Business Loan.
This is Mark. He's saving to make sure that this one doesn't have to worry about student loans. This is Tevin. He's saving to make sure that next year he can live by his own rules. And this is Janelle. She's saving to make sure that the girls' trip to Greece makes it out of the group chat. They all have one thing in common. They're JN Bank savings. Saving little by little is what makes life affordable. Stop wishing you could. With your JN Bank savings, you absolutely can. JN Bank, we'll help you find a way.
Me, busy as usual, so I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my One JN Passport app. It's a whole new level of convenience and access to services within the JN Financial Group. Just a few taps on my smartphone and box. I can update my personal information, open a JN Bank savings account, and even apply for an unsecured loan. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The One JN Passport app. JN will help you find a way.
Ever had a conversation with your past self? Looking back at all the things you did right. The best thing I ever did was saving with that JN individual retirement scheme. That was genius, because retirement will last longer than people think. Good thing I start from early, so now I have the funds to enjoy some freedom. Oh, by the way, I should have taken more pictures while I still had hair upon my head. Yeah man, I did good, bro.
Do your future a favor. Contact JN Life and ask about the JN Individual Retirement Scheme today.
Diaspora Conference webinar put on by the JN Group. I'm Archibald Gordon, and in this segment of our webinar, we're going to be talking about business facilitation and capacity building. Now, those are large words. Well, not business, but facilitation and capacity building, which really just means how can we make business happen? That's right? And business and capacity building means how can we, what is capacity? Well, I have a panel. I don't need to be doing this. So they are Val Rivera. She is CEO of the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, the JBDC. JBDC, and essentially help businesses grow, support small businesses, business development programs, training, and support for small businesses. I have Dimitri Dawkins. He's Commercial Director at MC Systems. That's all about technology and innovation. When we say technology, which means working smarter, and innovation, new ideas. So helping businesses use technology, tech solutions for businesses, and innovation support as well. And I have with me Natalie Brown, who is Head of Investment Banking at Jane Fund Managers. And here we're talking about investment and funding solutions. So again, helping businesses get money. So these are the people in the room who are helping businesses grow, which is why we're talking about business facilitation and capacity building. So let's talk first with the Valerie Vieira from JBDC. How do you help small businesses grow?
Well, first of all, it's a great opportunity to show off that we are the premier company. We are a government-owned company.
Yes.
And our mandate is to really assist the MSME, micro, small, medium-sized enterprises, to really build themselves to their greatest capacity.
And when we say MSME, we're talking about business of what size?
Medium-sized enterprises.
What size? What like in terms of number of employees?
It really, for me and JBDC, is the stage of the business rather than the traditional 2 employees, 5 million per year, etc. Because a dentist starts as a micro enterprise. So it's really the stage of your business. So we say from concept to market and all the in-between. We provide a full service. So you come to us with your ideation stage, and we have a consultation, and together we conclude if it's really a business or it should remain as a hobby.
So I get the information from Shane, market information from Shane from JAMPRO. I realize that breadfruit is something I can sell, and I come to you and I say, I want to sell breadfruit.
So I ask, what aspect of breadfruit? There are about 1,000 different varieties of breadfruit. Mm-hmm. Are you looking for breadfruit flour? Is it going to be used to make cosmetics or so on? And that is one of the problems we have, where people think breadfruit is breadfruit and we eat every breadfruit. You have different varieties and you have to be specific if you're going to be successful. So the one that is for flour is going to be the different one from what you're going to use for roasting and slicing and so on. This is the consultation. Ideation. What really is the business idea? And we work from there and we build a basket of support services that you would need once you identify the gaps. We have an assigned officer who takes you throughout JBDC, because we say from concept to market. It means the in-between are the product designers, the communication specialists that do your packaging and so on and so forth. And your processes and technology, what appropriate, again, is a big thing in them talk about technology. Can send you to prison. Because you take the bank's money and you can't pay it back because the business is not sound. So how do you build a model that speaks to appropriate technology and then, appropriate funding?
So you take me through all of the
take you through all those stages.
Help me get to market.
From concept, ideation, to market. Market is the world market, not just Savlamar or Mandible, because it's the same quality standards. And we say we are the network brokers so that we won't have every single thing you need within JBDC, but we partner with other agencies and companies, public and private, that you can pull on those services that you need. So this is what we do, and we are island-wide, not Kingston. We have 15 offices island-wide. We have partnerships with all the universities, so the research aspect is available to you, and this is how we work.
But this works in both directions. Does this work in both directions? Meaning, if I'm in Jamaica and I want to go into the overseas market, or if I'm overseas in Canada, in the UK, and Russia, and want to find out about what's happening in Jamaica.
Exactly. Because we in a world market in Jamaica, when you go in the shops and supermarket, definitely you are in the world market. So we have to be understanding that we're working in a global space and we need to meet all the requirements if we're really going to be successful. And the whole DPA thing comes in now because you won't be able to trade.
DPA?
It's the Data Protection Act is the now sexy thing to talk about. So we have to talk about the impacts soon enough whether you can trade. Because it's about the privacy information and so on. So that's when we say full service. That's what we mean. Total basket.
Let me bring in Dimitri here because you raise an important point there about technology. Because if I'm also doing business globally, even in Jamaica, I need to be technologically savvy, but especially if I'm going overseas, I need to be technologically savvy. What services do you provide?
So, I mean, as you mentioned, all businesses now are basically tech-enabled businesses. You rely on technology to provide your products, services, other offerings. And at MC Systems, what we are is a solutions partner. So we have a full range of services. If it comes to, let's break it down to business practices. If you need to get your employees paid, we have our payroll services. If you need to, you mentioned the Data Protection Act, protect your data, protect your infrastructure, we have our cybersecurity services and hardware. We sell servers, laptops, other infrastructure as well. We also have our consulting arm where if you need custom applications developed, we can do that or create custom workflows. So automation is key. We're no longer just hiring a bunch of people anymore. We are trying to automate as best as possible and keep our people for critical decisions and critical processes. When we expand past that, I mean, we have been investing significantly for the past year in artificial intelligence and how our partners, our customers can leverage artificial intelligence to boost their value, to drive their revenues, increase their profitability, and increase their customer experience. So, you know, people think, oh, Jamaica doesn't have great technology partners. We're not known for technology, but the fact of the matter is you have companies like us here at MC Systems that have been providing technology solutions for over 50 years and helping local companies scale globally, but helping to work with regional companies and internationally, because we're now working in 40 something countries across the globe, supporting their operations, core operations on a daily basis.
And that's because you want, you listed a range of different kind of services there. And it's important to understand technology as much more expansive than my computer hardware. So when you say technology, you're referring to anything that makes business easier.
Efficient.
More efficient. And so a lot of that comes back down to process. So oftentimes we think that, oh, it's the tool. You know, anybody could buy a shovel and use that shovel well. And this is where the partnership aspect comes in. It's not about just selling you a shovel. It's making sure you're using it in the most efficient way and that you can drive the most value with that tool. And that's why we sell solutions and not just products.
And the kind of shovel you need.
And so exactly, like the kind of breadfruit. So I was going to ask you there, and it's interesting that Ms. Vera was the one who raised that, whether you pepper the people who come to you with questions as well and say, you know, what are the services? What's the nature of what you want to do? When you're doing your consultation, what do you ask those people in order to be able to sort of clarify exactly what they require?
Definitely. So we take a consultative approach to every single one of our customers. We begin to understand your core business processes, your business needs, your goals, what it is you'd like to achieve, and of course, limitations are where you're at right now, so we can meet you where you are, whether you are at the small business level or if you're a very large bank operating globally. So we have the full range of sizes of customers, but we meet everybody with the same initial onboarding questions to understand needs and meet those needs.
I want to bring in Natalie Brown here, but just before I bring in Natalie Brown, I want to ask you one more question in relation to why we can afford it. Because very often people are like, okay, I don't want to buy this because it costs a lot of money. What's the business case for making that investment?
Especially working with MC Systems, the business case is that, you know, we're operating from emerging markets, and so you can benefit from these emerging economies and the lower overheads while still using cutting-edge tools. We've been Microsoft partners for over 20 years. We have excellent people that we've hired across the globe. About half of our team, well, a little more than half of our team is still based in Jamaica directly, but a large portion of our team, 30 or 40%, is international. And so we've brought together all of these great minds to create the right solutions, but we can operate at economies of scale that is much more affordable than our counterparts in Europe or North America.
All right, so let me bring in Natalie Brown here, because this question is always, it's about funding. But in this instance, we're talking about investment to be able to bring that business idea that you are going to be taking to the JBDC to birth, investment to be able to make the investments in technology to be able to scale and expand. How does JN Fund Managers help?
So I would want to start from your first panel discussion. So we start from the fact that we do take on the small and the medium persons to come in to say, hey, we're here to facilitate through a loan. JN is such a great company that we don't expect you to stay small. We expect you to grow. And that's where JN fund managers come in. We believe in matriculation. So we will meet with those persons and say, hey, let's see how we can help you to scale. Let's see where your accounting is at. Let's see what markets you can access, which we call the capital markets. Because when persons think of getting funding, they only think of the bank. And there are other ways that you can get funding. There are investors overseas who would want to invest in a company that is seeking to grow. And we are able to put those two persons together. We do mediation where we are the broker. We would meet with that investor to say, okay, you want to invest in a company of this nature? We will bring both persons together.
You'll go find them?
Yes, we will go find them. And we will bring them together and then say, okay, this entity is based on what you have come to us as a client to say that you're interested in investing in entities that you're not looking to get returns right away, because most companies, when they start off, the returns is not as large in the beginning. It takes a while and it takes momentum. So for our savvier investors who are overseas and they really want to build Jamaica and they want to impact Jamaica in a very significant way, we will consider them our private equity investors, where they will come in and they can help a small or a medium entity to grow in a meaningful way. And we will bring both parties together, because at the end of the day, you would want to know that both parties synergy aligns. So when we bring both investors together, it is not just somebody dumping money, but somebody understanding the business, understanding the core, activities that's happening. So as a group, I have to say MC Systems, JN Bank, it's not just segmented. We are really a one-stop shop. So the investment arm, yes, we do have investment options, but I want to just bring it back to JBDC, that, when we talk about the breadfruit, that when you come up with the idea and you say, I want to do this breadfruit idea, and you go to the bank and you get the loan, I can then say to you, how can I get you to go on the stock exchange? How can I get private equity? How can I move you from just accessing bank loans to accessing bonds?
You have an investment in the business expanding.
Exactly. And that is relationship building, which is what we have here, which is strong at JN and which is strong at JN Fund Managers. We believe in relationship building. We believe in the companies. We believe in the persons, what they're doing. And at JN Fund Managers, we are here to just move them from one stage to the next. And if it means we have to go out and find the persons to invest, and the persons who want to invest, they are watching us right now, we are happy to say, okay, let us do that for you.
So you made that point generally, but you said there are also investment options. Exactly. So if I'm overseas now, I'm in this webinar, or I'm going to be watching it later, and I want to know what those investment options are. What are some of the options?
So the options right now is at JN Fund Managers, we have quite a suite of services. So for those investors who would want to participate in our stock exchange, they can do so. All they would need to do is our onboarding process through www.jnfunds.com. And our onboarding process is online. And so it makes it easy for persons to do that. And the beauty of that is when you go through that onboarding process, you are assigned a financial advisor right away.
So this is if I'm overseas and I realize that there are some Jamaican companies which are doing really, really well and they're expanding regionally and globally, and there are those Jamaican companies and I want to invest. You can facilitate that.
Right away.
That's the first level.
That's the first level. Second level, if you want to go into now purchasing securities, repos, US Treasury notes, all of those stuff, but you want to do it here and you want to kind of have we call it diversification, put all our egg in one
basket. Yes.
So yes, you're overseas and you're investing, but you want to do something out here. We do offer that facility, and we also do portfolio management. So for those clients who have some money and they want somebody to give them a level of caress. They want somebody to work with them individually. We do have the ability for you to invest with us, and we would look at your portfolio based on your risk tolerance, because it's not everybody have the appetite for certain things. So let me put that out. So we're not going to take your money and just store it somewhere. No, it's based on what you can tolerate, based on your age, where you're at. We go through all of that. I think everyone here has said there is a consultation process. And so once you go through that consultation process, then we know how to invest your fund in what securities we have here to offer.
Business facilitation and capacity building quite linked, but I want to separate capacity building here and bring back in Val Rivera. Talk to me a little bit about the capacity building services that JBDC provides.
First of all, I want our family in the diaspora to understand that when we work with a client, and funding is not the first part of it, we need to build a business that's graduating to funding. Because I know Jane is not into charity. They have a foundation, but what she's doing is not about giving away money.
Business, yes.
Because they might have my money as an investor in JN. So it has to be that it's safe. So it means that we have to ensure that the business model is solid, that governance is a big part of that, so that our family in diaspora know that when they link and become together, that there is that confidence that it's not a fly-by-night thing that's going to flop as soon as the money comes in.
Proper business with rules about how you operate.
Model, exactly. And it has to be obvious. They need not have to be digging to find out. It's supposed to be obvious when they present the model that it is solid and sound. And there's indeed a market for what we're talking about. So that is very important. For those with the Bible, you have to be equally yoked, right? So you have to be solid so that the investor comes solid. So we facilitate by preparing you.
Because you know at some point you need to expand.
Exactly.
If you go to the bank's going to say,
no, you can't articulate what is there because it's somebody else who wrote the model. We help you to develop the skills because it's not casting cement. Things change and you have to keep modeling and remodeling and so on and so forth. Change in technology to make sure that it's still appropriate. The shovel still is what you need. So that this is what we do. We are hands-on, practical people that make sure that when you bring the cake, it is eatable.
I can sell my breadfruit.
You can sell the breadfruit.
My breadfruit.
Yellow heart, whatever one. St. Thomas breadfruit. We clear how you deal with what it is. What is this that you're offering to the investor? It has to be solid.
A key element of this, I would imagine, as well, are laws and regulations. Because
of course.
I can sell my breadfruit, but I can't bring my breadfruit across borders and have disease, etc.
Exactly.
Without particular. So how do you facilitate that part of it?
That's what we do. Now, make it clear that all the skills required are not within JBDC. We are a national network broker for the MSME sector. So we're going to reach out to all the regulatory agencies that would have to clear that breadfruit, make sure disease-free, etc., qualify for going elsewhere, for consumption, that your place of operation has passed the regulatory requirements. All of that. Now, important for our family in the diaspora, the micro might not be able to do that on their own. So our incubators provide a cluster approach where the micro can come together as a family within the incubator to present themselves as a bigger company, a medium or large. But we facilitate that with the proviso that it is the same regulatory framework you're operating and that it is a real business, and together you can go to the market in a fulsome way, predictable. Not going on social media and put up big e-commerce and you'll have 2 shirts to sell. So that is a simply no-no for JBDC. So that's why technology again have to be practical, sensible. It's a tool, it's not a business.
But
it
it's
is a facilitator.
But it's often something that people are afraid of. So at this juncture, people are sometimes afraid of, for instance, we're talking about AI. People are afraid that AI will take, the computers and the robots will take over the world.
Yes.
And when they weren't afraid of AI, they were afraid of Microsoft Word, people didn't know to print, etc. So we talk about capacity building, or even use cell phones. When you're talking about capacity building from that perspective, from the perspective of MC Systems, you have a group of people, but they're at a range of different levels in an organization. How do you get those people ready for AI, for machine learning, for any of these kinds of services? How do you improve that kind of capacity?
I mean, number one, the chief value proposition is making your job easier on a daily basis. People don't like doing mundane jobs. They don't like repeating the same process day in over and over, right? So we have to make things a little more creative, allow people to use their critical thinking, to be more innovative and creative. And you remove that through automation. So you automate the replicable tasks over and over, right? And then allows a person to focus their energy on solving bigger problems.
So in my breadfruit selling, because I'm going with this, I'm going to
Right.
this
That's
establish it. In my breadfruit selling powder business, what am I? What's the technology part there? The automation part.
So, for example, in your breadfruit sales, you could, for example, need to reach out to multiple purchasers, and instead of having to do 50 cold emails or 100 cold emails, you could have AI reach out, actually converse for the initial part of that conversation, and once it's past a certain point or reached a certain stage where it's qualified, then have an actual in-person.
So I can use artificial intelligence to be going out there making business while I'm actually,
focusing on your manufacturing or other elements. Yeah. So the key thing is, especially with AI and automation, is how do you create an efficient business from day one? As Valerie had shared, the stage of the business is more important than the number of employees. Nowadays, we're seeing companies that have 1 and 2 employees and are doing millions of US dollars per year in revenue. How do you do that? Through automation. So by investing in technology up front and having the correct processes in place, you can really create a significant advantage. And that's just on workput or workflows and output. But let's think more important on customer experience. How do you keep up with big brands internationally, right? You need to have technology that allows you to create that top-tier world-class experience without having the overheads of these other larger brands that you're competing with.
So this is a service you provide for the capacity building at that level as well?
Definitely, we do. Through our software development, through our consulting arm, through most of the solutions we provide, all of them are working towards efficiency and process improvement.
I think it's Donald's, the former U.S. Secretary of State, said known unknowns, unknown knowns, etc. And I'm talking here about unknown knowns in terms of business facilitation. So these are the things I don't know, I know. Right. How do I come to you in my business and say, what do I say to you to work through getting my breadfruit business from start to finish? I come to you and I say what? I don't know how I can use technology in my business. What do I do?
Sure, yeah. You come to us and just let us know what problem you're having. What's the immediate problem? What can we fix right now that will make tomorrow better? Or the week after that? And we go through and we take it off one at a time and go through this iterative cycle to make sure that as we address each issue, it becomes easier and easier. And then the problems inevitably become more complex because we start from the easiest problems first. But we just start off one problem at a time and then build up. Gone are the days where we try to do a whole change the entire organization in one go. That doesn't work.
No.
But how do we, again, make our jobs and our lives easier on a daily basis? That's the easiest way to do change management and to effect the change we want to see alongside strategy. You need to know strategically which direction do you want to go. Am I trying to focus here in Jamaica? Am I sourcing in Jamaica to provide services or products overseas? What is the market segment I'm going after? Things like that. Yeah.
All right, I talked about, and I think you touched on it, Natalie, capacity building as well, but you're talking more business facilitation in terms of, getting people in touch with the people who help to grow your business. But let's talk about capacity building specifically in relation to JN fund managers. I'm going to need to be able to invest I understand investment options better? How does JN Fund Managers give me the sort of knowledge and know-how so I can make that business, breadfruit business, work?
So the beauty is, as I would have stated earlier, we have an onboarding process. Once you have this financial advisor, the financial advisor does a thorough consultation with you. Because JN is not about, but it's also about the future where you want to go, where you see yourself. That's what investing is. Investing is what's the long goal, what's the strategic goal, whether it be short, medium, but we want to know what your goal is. And once you state to your financial advisor what it is that you want to do, where you see yourself, then we have the different arms within JN Fund Managers. I'm a part of the investment banking team. We also have our asset management team, our treasury and asset management. We have our trading team. We have our pension funds team. So if you're a company and you need someone to provide you with a pension solutions, you don't have to be a large company to get a pension solution. You could have 5 persons who you have, and you're like, you know what? I need to make sure that these persons are comfortable down the road. Once you sit with us and you provide the relevant information, we will then guide you and steer you to where you need to go. And it's a consultation with everyone. We do pitches. We do presentations. We will come to your organization and do a presentation. If it is that persons who are watching now, they want us to do a presentation for them, it's just to reach out to us. We're accessible. We're on Instagram. They can go to JN Fund Managers and send us a DM and say, hey, it doesn't matter. We believe that information, financial inclusion comes from information, and we have the skill set to provide that information to get you included here.
And as we want to get information, as we close this segment, if you want to get information about MC Systems, I get it where?
mcsystems.com, or just email us solutions@mcsystems.com.
And the Jamaica Business Development Corporation.
www.jbdc.net.
All right, and I'd like to thank the guests in this segment, Valerie Vieira, CEO of the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, Dimitri Dawkins, Commercial Director at MC Systems, and Natalie Brown, Head of Investment Banking at JN Fund Managers for this segment. In our next segment, we're going to be hearing someone who did it. Took on these challenges, took on all of the opportunities as well as challenges that come with business. How did it go? You have to find out by sticking around.
This is Mark. He's saving to make sure that this one doesn't have to worry about student loans. This is Tevin. He's saving to make sure that next year he can live by his own rules. And this is Janelle. She's saving to make sure that the girls' trip to Greece makes it out of the group chat. They all have one thing in common. They're JN Bank savings. Saving little by little is what makes life affordable. Stop wishing you could. With your JN Bank savings, you absolutely can. JN Bank will help you find a way.
Me, busy as usual, so I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my One JN Passport app. It's a whole new level of convenience and access to services within the JN Financial Group. Just a few taps on my smartphone and box. I can update my personal information, open a JN Bank savings account, and even apply for an unsecured loan. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The One JN Passport app. JN will help you find a way.
JN Bank Small Business Loans is linked to so many stories of ordinary Jamaicans and their extraordinary success. It's a demonstration of our strong belief in the business ambitions of Jamaicans.
And how we believe in JN Bank Small Business Loans.
And by doing so, have expanded industries, improved communities, and transformed the lives of entire families for the better.
JN Bank Small Business Loan help business like ours come to life and grow over the years.
Come, talk to us. Tell us your business. Let's start a partnership and let your business plans appear in real life. JN Bank Small Business Loan.
Airport, drop off, pick up, towing, service, fuel, Tupperware more than roadside assistance. We'll carry you the distance with JAA. Safety is our mission. When your car want license and pass, yeah, we will do that fast. White glove service with special occasions, even a chauffeur. When you want live large with JAA membership, increase the comfort, reduce the risk. JAA, keeping you mobile.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us on this Jamaica National Group, Jamaica Diaspora Dialogue, about exploring business opportunities at home and abroad. And so far, we have spoken about how you go about setting up a business, what are the services which are available. In our second segment, we talked about business facilitation, as in how you can get business done, and capacity building, how you can expand and improve the services that you have internally in order to be able to scale your business. And in this section, we're going to be talking to someone who got all of that done. And his name is Joel Harris. He's co-founder and marketing director of Shavuot Farms, which functions within the scope and oversight for the image, product, market development, and sales of the company, essentially. And Shavuot International is a family-owned company founded in 2014. And let's start by talking a little bit about what you do.
All right, thank you. So, Shavuot is actually a group of companies: Shavuot Farms, Shavuot International, and Shavuot Foods. Originally started in 2013 and Shavuot Farms, and Shavuot International in 2014. The other one being in 2018. What I do basically is to set the structure, the vision, the products, and the direction as to how we move forward. And that starts from the integration, the ideation stage, to the development stage, to the processing stage, to the expansion stage, and basically watching the growth of it and being able to transform it into what it needs to be.
Let's take a step back and talk about the products and services that you provide. What are they?
Good. So I'll be speaking about the company of Shavuot International. So Shavuot International is both a holding company as well as a manufacturing arm. Simply put, we take Jamaican raw produce, especially the breadfruit that you've been speaking about, right? And then we transform it into value-added products. So we specialize in taking the raw material, we wash it, dry it, mill it, turn it into a powder, and then we package it according to our market needs. And then we export across the world.
And that's just one example of the type of product that you do that with.
That's correct.
What are some of the other products you do that with?
Well, let me list the categories. So the categories ranges from herbal teas to dried spices. Now, of course, if you're a lover of Jamaican Scotch bonnet, you can actually have it in our brand, or Jamaican dried.
One second. Let's go back to herbal teas for a moment. So you're talking about moringa.
Right, like moringa, soursop, and soursop is one of our most favorite and sought after. Our Cersei tea is one of the #1 selling items across the world in all Caribbean diasporas under the Shavuot brand. And of course, our Jamaican fine leaf peppermint is one of our winning sellers. Upcoming is our wonderful turmeric tea, all sourced from Westmoreland, beautiful plains of Jamaica. And of course, our real Jamaican ginger tea as well, just to name a few of our herbal teas.
I'm surprised to hear Cersei tea is one of the best sellers across the world.
One of the best sellers. Bitter, very bitter. Very bitter.
But it just reinforces the idea of how valuable Jamaican products can be across the world.
That's correct. And the thing is that Jamaica, as of today, if I am correct, has the largest Caribbean diaspora in the US, North American market, and the UK, being US, Canada, and England.
So the people who grew up getting Cersei, drinking Cersei,
we've been looking for
drinking ginger to bust a little gas and all of that.
That's correct.
There are a huge market for these kinds of
products.
That's
correct. And of course, the global market also know these products by different names.
So that sorry, hold on.
Right, the global market, certain mainstream markets knows our products by different names based on their own country.
So there's a market not just for Jamaican products in the Jamaican diaspora.
That is correct. The one thing is that Jamaica, the brand Jamaica, creates brand loyalty or brand trust or brand recognition. And so naming it under Jamaican gives the empowerment of an association of an island that produces of excellence. And once you tap into that, persons knowing Jamaica or the brand of Jamaica, whether it be Jamaican, Caribbean diaspora, or other, tend to have that kind of trust value with that brand. And so you're able to then transfer that brand trust to unexpected markets.
And so that's bringing us back to where we started with this discussion, saying that our location, our name, our culture, those are all advantages that allow us to be able to sell products.
Beyond border.
Before I go into how you actually did it in terms of the services that you required in order to expand your brand and how you got some of those services from JN, talk about spices, for instance, as another line of products that are also available.
So our spice line being primarily of dried Jamaican Scotch bonnet pepper powder came really as a buck-up, as Jamaicans would say. Originally, an idea was given over to us to do dehydrated Scotch bonnet into flakes, primarily into the markets of if you have red crushed pepper flakes for pizza and stuff, then use Jamaican Scotch. Why not Jamaican Scotch? Being that Jamaican Scotch has more flavor and spice potency, and Jamaicans love Jamaican Scotch bonnet. So we actually went to RADA for our first development, and we had said to them, dry the peppers, slice it up into flakes, present it to us. And because their milling machine sieve was too fine, it ended up going to powder. Now, of course, this is not what we wanted in the beginning. And I myself, being the product developer, was very skeptical as to how it would work. We actually had partnered at an event called Taste of Jamaica, I believe, in Montego Bay. And what happened was that the chefs there loved the product and said, this is a very convenient product, easy to use, easy to cook with. And some of them even had awards with said product.
So you said this was a disaster. Everybody loved it.
And everybody loved it. And sometimes the greatest innovations just come out of our buck-ups, right? It wasn't intentional, it just happened. And we took that, we laid it onto the market, and even just as a mystery shopper, we heard customers fighting over the product, seeing that their helper or their loved one is saying this product has to be in your shelf, whether it be in Jamaica or overseas. And some of the greatest demands are persons who are traveling, taking a little bottle of Scotch bonnet pepper powder with them in their handbag or their purse or their carry-on, and carrying a piece of Jamaica with them in their households across the world.
So you started off with these ideas for teas, for spices. By the way, you also produce Jamaican black oil and other specialty foods, for instance. You, in some instances, didn't think it would work the way it would work.
Correct.
It turned out to be a massive opportunity, and you realize you have a great problem on your hand, but you need money
to facilitate
it.
Right.
What did you do?
Right. So we grew through different stages. Primarily, when we started, we weren't manufacturers. We were outsourcing the production to other companies, meaning that we just started. None of us, well, myself was never trained in manufacturing. I was trained as a marketer by UWI, and that is what I knew. However, a good way to start that we started was benchmarking, understanding who were the leaders in the market, what they were doing, and understanding the proficiencies of that sector and how we could differentiate. So when we understood that, we said, all right, we could do better than what the market is providing. And so we did it in-house. So we started with bootstrapping first. After bootstrapping, meaning that we use our own personal funds to be able to start. Once we started from there and started to generate revenue, consistency, and branding, especially brand traction, we actually were able to approach places like the Exim Bank, who was able to facilitate loans and special provisions to actually increase our manufacturing capabilities. Now we have been classified as a mid-level company, a medium-sized company, more recently, and even have gone through programs like JAMPRO Export Max 3, which we were nominated as classified as the most outstanding company out of the program in how we went through. And along that growth, our working capital actually needed to exceed. So whereas we'd have done like tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, it went into millions of dollars of working capital. Reason being, farmers like to be paid up front. When you go and buy breadfruit, you go and buy cassava, you can't owe them money. And the reason being is that their system depends on day-to-day expenses. And that is what we have to facilitate. So when we talk with JM, so JM, we need a credit facility loan for working capital at a particular interest rate that's comparable to us. And that would allow us to be able to buy the raw materials and packaging supply on hand. So we keep the raw material as much as possible locally, and sometimes we have to import the packaging material, or even work with lower suppliers, and that takes intensive capital.
The loan was part of the
correct.
Was part of the investment. But what about the other services that were provided?
Well, to date, it was the loan and working capital. Those are the two major functions. And even just being here to be able to present to the diaspora market is, I believe, is a service to their customers who they work with. So in different categories, we may not have used the entire suite of products, but the main facilities that has helped us was the loan and working capital.
So where next? How do you continue
to grow?
Yes.
Right. So we're continuing to expand our facilities. So currently, prior to last year, we had one facility in Spanish Town, McKesselin Winterspen, where we are proud in employing men and women from inner city communities and giving them opportunities. We have expanded to a larger location, an additional location, to St. Mary in Port Maria, on Bailiffsville Road, where again we employ persons from that community and working with local small businesses to generate new opportunities. Where we are now is be able to expand within more diaspora markets. We sell to over 15 countries globally across the Caribbean, North America, and Europe. And we have a lovely, strong relationship with the US, especially on the East Coast and the West Coast. So it's about making new products, making new synergies, growing, expanding our operations, and being able to provide a better service.
And so far, service seems to be great. I see Dion Campbell in the chat saying, yes, the moringa tea is good. I had some this morning, purchased from a local Caribbean market here in Orlando, Florida. We have to go to the break. But just before we do that, I want to ask, we've been talking about opportunities. You talked about opportunities that you got in terms of funding and business facilitation, not necessarily from JN, but from like Exim Bank, from JAMPRO. As you talk about expanding, what role can people in the diaspora play in helping that expansion?
Great. Two things. It depends on the situation, of course, but one, spreading the word about Jamaican products. That is one of the key aspects. The promotion of Jamaican products, speaking about it, sharing this with family members and friends, that is a massive opportunity right there. Two, sometimes companies down here need also local or overseas recognition. Promotion is very key. Investment. Sometimes you may be able to even have a farmland back in Jamaica that you want to use. Say, hey, we could grow breadfruit for you or cassava or moringa. Opportunities exist. But most importantly, sometimes having a dialogue with that entity creates a world of opportunities.
So it sounds like you're saying, call me, email me.
Sure.
I'm up to spreading the business if you have a good
That is correct. We're always open to dialogue. And of course, information sharing is always beneficial. Of course, to find us, if you type in or Google Shavot Brands, that's Shavot, it's SHAVUOT brands.com, we can be found there.
All right, thanks so much. Joel Francis is co-founder and marketing director of Shavot Farms, Shavot International rather. And after the break, we're going to be taking some of your questions. We've been hearing some of the questions in the chat, but after the break, we're going to be taking even more questions and continuing the dialogue here. Stick around.
JN Bank Small Business Loans is linked to so many stories of ordinary Jamaicans and their extraordinary success. It's a demonstration of our strong belief in the business ambitions of Jamaicans.
And how we believe in JN Bank's small business loans.
And by doing so, have expanded industries, improved communities, and transformed the lives of entire families for the better.
JN Bank, small business loan, help business like ours come to life and grow over the years.
Come, talk to us. Tell us your business. Let's start a partnership and let your business plans appear in real life. JN Bank Small Business Loan.
a very quick break. We are back to talk to get your questions and to give answers to questions. And in this segment, I have Ms. Hyde from JN Bank. I have Joel Harris from Shavat International and Valerie Vieira from the Jamaica Business Development Corporation to take your questions. Before I go to a question in the chat, first a sort of general question overall. What's one piece of advice you would give to new entrepreneurs?
I want them to take the business serious, not a hobby. So even if it's Scotch bonnet, we have to make sure that the Scotch bonnet tastes the same every time. So technology becomes important. Make sure the salt type means that you get the same Scotch bonnet taste every time, or else we're in trouble.
Same question across.
I would say three things. Innovation. All the times we copy just because you see it on the shelf and not to really innovate to the need of the customer. Putting the customer's needs up front is most important. Two, persistence. Never give up on your dream, and always have a stick to it attitude. And to believe in yourself is also most important.
I want to say that running a successful business takes passionate partnership. It takes a complete ecosystem, and everybody in that ecosystem is important. So your financial institution is not just a bank or a fund management company. It's a part of your partnership that guarantees success. So as you build your company, ensure that everybody in that company is passionate. And as I see Valerie sitting here, I know I've been on a lot of panels and engagement with Valerie. And the reason that she's in this business community is that passion. And so I think it's so important. So as you choose within that to build your business, ensure that at the core of it are persons that are passionate about the business that we're serving.
I saw one question earlier talking about marketing, and it was, I'm having difficulties marketing my business. How can JBDC help?
Well, first we need to hear about the business. So they can call. I'm giving my private number, 9380123. I need to understand what's going wrong and what can go right, and whether the business really is marketable and how we can help to make it marketable if you're having difficulty.
But generally speaking, you provide any capacity, a range of different kind of services.
But we have a whole commercial arm, Things Jamaica is our brand. So we have shops, brick and mortar, e-commerce, everything.
I have a question here about what's required to be able to open an account with JN Fund Managers?
With JN Fund Managers. So I'm going to ask Dolores, just so that we're specific enough, to just drop in the chat the requirements to open an account with JN Fund Managers. Right? And I just want to point out along that journey as we figure out the details related to fund management, we're making it easy within the group to onboard anybody within any area of JN Group. So if we're working towards one onboarding. So whether you want to do business with a bank or fund management or JNGI, it's going to be one onboarding so that it is seamless. You no longer have to go to JNGI and then go up to halfway through and then start all over with JN Bank. We're making it pretty seamless. So I'm going to ask them as well to drop in that portal in which we can begin that engagement with each of our.
I'm also seeing information in the portal, by the way, about how you can access JN Bank small business loans, for instance. jnbank.com, and you can call 948-876 first, 948-7454. Talk a little bit about government support or support overall for new businesses. Let's start with you, Valerie. If I have a new business, are there any kind of particular incentives that are available for me at the JBDC?
Well, the first incentive that we're providing are full support for you and at no cost to start with. And that's important. Secondly, we have
no cost.
No cost. I mean, our time is paid for by the government. We need more. Increasing. Yeah, we get some salary for that. So that is very important, that there is a place that you can enter, whether by online or in person, just the same. And we provide. I think that's important. Secondly, we have incubators, which is the in-between I speak of, where you can actually, suppose you're in fashion, for instance, which is a big part of our work. We have a fashion incubator. You need to do samples and you don't have a facility. You can come and book space. Small cost, but you book space and you can actually do your sample production there. And when you're doing that, you still be getting the fuller service of guiding you in setting up your own production space, but the business support system is available to you. So that is a good startup. Same thing for your essential oils business, same thing for your agro processing. So there is that physical support that is available. In terms of the regulatory framework that you have to register it, of course, our partners, remember I said we are network brokers. So we would guide you to the Companies Office of Jamaica and see you through that process. All the regulatory features that you need to be compliant with.
How you set up a business.
Right. So that is
etc.
very, yes. And guiding you to the appropriate, to a JN, for instance, to make sure that you're on the right track and you know which funding you need, because not all funding is relevant for every single company. So we have a relationship, and so this is what we do. And research, again, we with all the major universities, so you need some research support, again, we can do that. So there's a lot of support, but you start with us and we network with you, so you have a basket that supports your idea.
Well, it sounds like Michelle is taking you on because she asked for your number in the chat after you said it and someone already supplied it. We also got the answer to how you open an account with JN Fund Managers. You need a valid ID, tax registration number, proof of address. This you will need to upload when you're doing our onboarding through website at www.jnfunds.com. In terms of incentives and opportunities available for new businesses at JN.
So again, we've, through our JN small business arm, which we have now incorporated within the bank, we've set up some special initiatives specifically for startups. Originally, you used to have to be in business for six months, etc., before we would be able to invest in you. But come, you have your idea, you're ready. Come, we're going to partner with the development agencies to ensure that those plans are solid. And I know sometimes our entrepreneurs run away from documentation, but it's the roadmap to ensure that they can be successful. So we're going to partner with, there is also funding. So in addition to what JBDC is doing, where funding is necessary, the Development Bank of Jamaica has a technical voucher program that allows you to access funds to go and support and seek engagement with regards to capacity building, right? So for business plan development, etc.
I want to give the last word to Joel as we wrap. Why come and invest? I mean, you've had the opportunity, you've seen what it can reap. Make the argument for people who are looking on and listening.
Why invest in Jamaica?
Yes.
That is the question.
Jamaican product.
Jamaican product. Jamaica is blessed with two resources, I believe. It's people, well, three actually. It's people, culture, and the bountiful resources that we have made available. Jamaica is in a position of growth and transitionary growth, I might add, where we are moving past just simply the pumpkin and bauxite level and stuff to opportunities that can revolutionize each and every industry, both locally and overseas. And two, for those who have a true Jamaican heart or true Jamaican heart and mind, being a part of that change is also very developmental and also very instrumental as a part of our culture. Jamaica holds, as you can see, many opportunities. In fact, even our stock exchange prior was extremely doing well and recognized globally. And the markets and opportunities have just been booming from that. And Jamaica has been internationally recognized and also been booming because of that. And Jamaica is a place of opportunities. That is how I would coin it. So why not? The question is, why haven't you? So that is how I would leave it, basically.
Thank you so much, Joel Harris there. I think that's a wonderful question. It's not why, it's why not. Joel Harris, co-founder and marketing director at Chavot International. I also had in this panel Jillian Hyde, deputy managing director at JN Bank, as well as Valerie Vieira from the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. And I just want to thank our panelists. Earlier also had Michelle Tullen-Neal from Global Diaspora Council in the Northeast USA, as well as Dimitri Dawkins, commercial director at MC Systems, Natalie Brown, head of investment banking at JN Fund Managers, as well in this segment, and Shane Angus from JAMPRO. So I'd like to thank all of them. I'd like to thank you at home for watching as well and for joining us in this discussion about exploring business opportunities at home and abroad. It's been a pleasure to hear from you. It's been a pleasure to hear the stories both from the experts as well as from Joel, who's actually done some of the things they say is actually possible. And we've heard about these just absolutely inspiring success stories. As we move forward, let's just remember that Jamaica is a brand of opportunities. We're saying it, but Joel is also, Jane is seeing it, Valerie has seen it as well, and Joel has actually experienced it. So I want to thank all of you for participating and taking part in this webinar. And as we close, I want to remind you that there is a real estate webinar next week, Thursday. We said real estate is one of those areas that's ripe for investment. If you've tried to, you know, I see these videos on the internet where people are not just selling to Jamaicans, but are selling to people all across the world. So land of opportunity. Next week, Thursday, it's going to be hosted by JN Properties. And it's talking about Jamaica property boom, innovating regulations and opportunities. It's Thursday, June 6, 2024 at 12:30 p.m. to 2 p.m. Jamaica time. And we have placed the registration link in the chat. So again, thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. And you will be seeing much more webinars coming from the JN Group. I'm Archibald Gordon. See you next time.
JN Money Card sent from abroad. JN Money Card. Send the money. Move on, withdraw in a hurry. JN Money Card free. With your TRN and your ID. And when me not walk with cash, me just swipe like that. From abroad to CAD, get the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. JN Money Card sent from abroad. JN Money Card.
JN Bank Small Business Loans is linked to so many stories of ordinary Jamaicans and their extraordinary success. It's a demonstration of our strong belief in the business ambitions of Jamaicans.
And how we believe in JN Bank Small Business Loans.
And by doing so, we have expanded industries, improved communities, and transformed the lives of entire families for the better.
JN Bank Small Business Loan help business like ours come to life and grow over the years.
Come, talk to us. Tell us your business. Let's start a partnership and let your business plans appear in real life. JN Bank Small Business Loan.
Me, busy as usual, so I don't have no time for whole heap of paperwork. That's why I downloaded and signed up for my One JN Passport app. It's a whole new level of convenience and access to services within the JN Financial Group. Just a few taps on my smartphone and box. I can update my personal information, open a JN Bank savings account, and even apply for an unsecured loan. Get it all in one go. Download and sign up now. The One JN Passport app. JN will help you find a way.